A list of signs of cheating. Elliot Goldman arrived home an hour earlier than his wife Hannah. He pulled a beer out of the refrigerator and sat down to rest. He noticed one of his wife's women's magazines on the coffee table. The main article on the cover was 10 Ways to Know Your Spouse is Cheating. Normally, Elliot would have ignored or even laughed at such a title. However, in the last month or so, he felt a change in power, his marital hitch. He read the article and immediately rebuked himself for trusting such lists. Yet the seed of doubt about his wife's behavior after 6 years of marriage was sown. A few days later, one of his co-workers came to see him after lunch. "Hey, Al, I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw your wife at lunch with a guy. She works with several men. I guess it's not unusual for her to have lunch with one of them from time to time. But do she and the guy usually hold hands, pet each other, and hug?" He pulled out his phone and showed Elliot. After watching the video for a couple of minutes, Elliot remarked, "They do look very cozy, don't they? Did you happen to hear what they were talking about?" "No, I was too far away. I know they were smiling and laughing and looking at each other lovingly. Did you see where they went afterwards?" "No. By the time I paid the bill, they were gone." "Well, that's probably nothing, but I need to talk to Hannah. Send me the video." That night, Elliot got home just before Hannah. "Hey, big guy, how was your day?" Interesting. How about your day? Anything special?" Same old, same old. How long is your lunch break?" "Why do you want to know? Are you planning on surprising me and taking me to lunch one day? That would be great." "I just wanted to know how much time you have. It would mean what restaurant we could go to." "Officially, we only have half an hour, but we can stay longer if we let the secretary know." "Have you had any of these long lunch breaks lately? Do these questions make sense? Okay, spit it out. Why are you really asking these questions?" Elliot pulled out his phone and showed Hannah the video. Hannah replied, "So what? It looks like you're really friends with this person." Hannah laughed. "You mean because he's affectionate?" "You were both affectionate." "That's so sweet." "What are you talking about?" Elliot was starting to get angry. "That's so sweet. You're jealous. You're jealous of Spencer, the other guy. We touch each other like I touch all my girlfriends. Believe me, there's nothing romantic about our touching. I guess I should be flattered that you're jealous. It means you value our marriage if you're upset about a possible rival." Hannah smiled broadly. "Al, remember, appearances can be deceiving." "Well, I can't say he is." "If you really want to know, talk to everyone I work with. Or better yet, check out Spencer's Facebook page. He doesn't hide his gender preference." Facebook Elliot did check, and the guy's Facebook page said he was the guy his wife said he was. Elliot was embarrassed that he doubted Hannah. A few days later, Hannah called her husband to tell him that she had to work late and that he had to go and eat without her. That almost never happened. Hannah's job simply didn't require extra time in the evenings. Elliot remembered the list. Unexpected delay at work was number 4 on the list of signs of cheating. Elliot walked into his favorite restaurant and ordered food. His plan was to bring his poor, overworked wife dinner, if that's what she was really up to. If he was wrong, he would simply join her for dinner. The guard knew Elliot and let him in. Elliot declined the guard's offer to inform his wife of his arrival. He wanted to surprise her. God, how he wanted to surprise her. As he approached her office, he heard 2 voices, one male and one female. Stepping quietly, he stood at her door and listened. Hearing his wife say, "Oh, this is really good," Elliot, anticipating their upcoming date, quickly opened the door. Hannah and the man she was working with were standing over the architect's desk, looking at a large sketch of an organizational chart. They were both fully dressed, and nothing seemed out of place. "Elliot, this is a surprise. What are you doing here?" "Yay. I just wanted to bring my loving wife dinner." "That's so sweet. You brought dinner for Jimmy too?" Trying to think quickly, Elliot replied, "There are 2 dinners." "So you've already eaten?" Yes, I've already eaten. Well, I gotta get home. I'll see you at home. Sorry to barge in. Jimmy, I'd like to see my husband off. I'll be back in a second. They headed for the elevator. As soon as the door closed, Hannah got angry. I'm sorry, but I don't believe in good husband. You've never done anything like this before. Walk into my office without even knocking. If this has anything to do with your stupid jealousy again, we could have a problem. We'll talk when I get home. Scolded properly, Elliot waited for Hannah to slap him. It all started before Hannah even took off her coat and hung it up. At first I thought it was cute that you were jealous of me at lunch with Spencer. And now you're checking up on me because I had to work late? Jimmy asked me if you're always this suspicious. Elliot, this is getting more than annoying. If you think I'm making fun of you, I want to hear it now. She stood with her arms crossed over her chest and frowned. Well, the thing is, I love you very much, and I know that other men appreciate your beauty as much as I do. I've always considered myself so lucky to be married. I find it hard to believe that other men don't hit on you. I'm afraid you like it. What a load of crap. Well, other men hit on me. Not a lot, but sometimes. But that's not the problem. The problem is that you think I'm actually capable of responding to advances. Are you really that insecure about our relationship? If so, I suggest you pull your head out of your ass immediately. Comprende? Yes, dear. I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I love you so much. Well, you can't love me in bed tonight. You need to sleep in the guest bedroom tonight, although I hope you don't stay up all night figuring out what you need to do. Hannah headed to the bar and poured herself a drink. Elliot went to get the guest bedroom ready. It was chilly in the Goldman house that night. Elliot was glad that Hannah didn't seem so upset in the morning. Elliot, I'm really sorry I left you last night. I'm just disappointed that you seem to be thinking about me and my possible betrayal. Look, I take my marriage vows very seriously. I haven't been involved with anyone since we got married, and I don't intend to. You can't seem to understand that appearances can be deceptive. Furthermore, I have never doubted your commitment to our marriage. I suppose I can expect the same. I just don't understand why it isn't. After making that statement, she shed a tear. Elliot felt miserable. I'm sorry, honey. You helped me come to my senses. Please forgive me. I won't doubt you anymore. Hannah walked over and kissed Elliot. Let's put all this talk of spying and adultery behind us. Our marriage is too important to us to sabotage it by mistake. Remember, we will soon be adding little ones to our family. We can't raise children in an atmosphere where one of us doesn't trust the other. That's enough for today. I'll see you at dinner, and I won't be working late. She smiled slyly. Over the next few days, Elliot tried his best to do things he hoped Hannah would appreciate. Flowers, candy, chocolate, nuts, and caramel bars, and taking her out to dinner. The atmosphere at home softened considerably. One evening, Elliot was balancing his online account and his online credit card account. Everything seemed fine until he got to the account for the joint credit card with Hannah. 3 days at a local 2-star motel were charged. He realized that those 3 days were the days of his business trip. Just not again. Remembering the last disaster, Elliot didn't even want to think about asking her about it until he was sure it was what he was afraid of. He began to think of ways to find out before he made a fool of himself again, or worse, jeopardized his marriage. Elliot went to the hotel and asked the porter if he had been on duty those 3 days. He then asked if the hotel still had security footage from that period. It did. For $250, he saw the footage. Finally, after a quick rewind of the tape showed Hannah opening the door to a room. With her was a man dressed casually. They entered. This was a couple hours before Hannah left. Although Hannah never seemed to stay overnight, she did make several visits of varying lengths over the course of 3 days. The guy came and went several times alone, usually carrying food. Elliot got a copy of the recording. Elliot ran through every possible scenario that could suggest Hannah's visits to the motel were for a legitimate purpose. He couldn't envision anything but what he feared most. Was it time to meet Hannah again? Not if he wanted to keep his balls. Elliot needed more proof. He talked to his lawyer. By the time he left his office, he had a divorce petition in the works and a private detective under contract. The detective hid cameras and tape recorders in the house, and Elliot hid one in Hannah's car. For several weeks, the daily video search and recording yielded no unusual results until the digital recorder in the car recorded part of Hannah's candid conversation. "Hey, Craig, can I talk to you for a second? I'm in the car on my way to work." "Okay, me too. Are you ready to talk about our little adventure at the hotel?" "Yeah, it was one of the most exciting things I've ever done." "So you don't have a problem with what we did?" "Not really. I just wish we weren't so secretive. You know we can't talk about it in the office. You never know who might overhear." "Well, you could always tell your husband." "Oh yeah, sure. Like he'd understand why I'd want to do that." "Do you think we could ever do something like that again?" "I don't know. We'll have to pick the right time. I don't want to explain what we're doing. The possible consequences are too horrible." "Okay. I'll wait. It's worth it." "Okay. But next time you'll pay for the room." They both chuckled, and the conversation ended. Elliot was seething with anger. "Let's see what that fool has to say about this." Copies of the video and recording were sent to his attorney. The divorce petition was to be accompanied by a copy of the prenuptial agreement. The adultery she committed would leave her with what she brought to the marriage. Elliot would tell the lawyer when to pull the trigger. Hannah took off her coat and tossed her purse on the couch. Elliot sat at the kitchen table drinking a beer. His laptop was in front of him, but was turned toward the living room. An envelope lay next to the computer. On the other side stood a digital voice recorder. Judging by the bad grin on your face, you've got something up your sleeve. You better not fall for any more adultery. It won't end so well this time. "I admit you had me fooled, Hannah. I have proof this time." "This should be good. Show me this so-called proof." Elliot scrolled through a video of a hotel room Hannah went in and out of, sometimes spending over an hour there. "That's it? Before I say anything, what else do you have?" Elliot scrolled through the tape of the conversation in the car. His confidence was waning, given Hannah's smug attitude. Hearing the recording of the call, Hannah smiled. "This is going to cost you big time, asshole. First of all, the video. I agree that it shows me going in and out of a hotel room with a man. His name is David. What you don't see is that his sick wife is in the room. Don't you remember that my office helped support the Fairview homeless shelter? David and his wife used their time at the shelter just as they were starting to get back on their feet. The shelter agreed to pay for 1 week in a motel. They needed more time. Craig and I decided to help them even though we weren't going to. I paid for 3 more days before they got into an apartment under the care of the mental health center staff. David's wife is ex-military, physically disabled and suffering from PTSD. I spent some time in the room talking to them about where they were moving to and the job prospects for David. I tried to support them and cheer them up. The reason Craig and I were secretive was that we could lose our volunteer positions because we went against agency policy. If the agency made exceptions to their rule on length of support, everyone else would expect it too. They don't have the budget for it. If our company found out that we had been ousted by an agency for which they are major contributors, it could have a negative impact on our work. I don't think they would fire us, but it could affect our future raises and promotions. The conversation with Craig is easy to understand now, knowing what the secret was. Scroll through the tape again. See if you hear anything in our conversation that specifically mentions sex or cheating on our spouses. You'll hear that you took our conversation about our secret act of kindness and turned it into something sinister. You just had to make some assumptions. But, can't we talk about it? No, you don't deserve any respect after what you did. You say you love me, but you don't trust me. I'm not sure I can stay married to a man who doesn't trust me. Are those divorce papers in front of you? Yeah, but I don't have to. Shut up! You can shove those papers up your ass. After your last bout of distrust, I wondered what to do if you didn't trust me again. I've come to the conclusion that just leaving you won't be enough. It wouldn't hurt you because you obviously don't care much for me if you can believe I want another man. I realized something else. You're the one who's had a new wife in the last few years. You're the one. Hannah, I swear to God, I've never touched another man. Oh, spare me the theatrics. I'm sick of your sanctimony. I wasn't talking about another human woman. I was talking about business. You're so consumed with growing the business and preparing to take over in a few years that the business has become your wife. I guess if you could make love to her, you wouldn't need me at all. Elliot was silent. That's what you'll do if you want us to stay married. Mind you, I don't care what you decide. I will, however, agree to stay married. Part of my reasoning will be that I will enjoy getting revenge on you every day until I am satisfied. The other reason I will stay married is that I would just as quickly be rid of all the confusion, hassle, and wasted money on lawyers that can come with a nasty divorce. And believe me, if I decide to get a divorce, it will be ugly. Honey, I'll do anything to save our marriage. Tell me what I can do. Please give me a chance. You've made me lose my train of thought. Oh yes, the divorce petition. Have your lawyer destroy that divorce petition and rewrite the prenup instead. The first thing is to get rid of the part about if either party can prove that the other has committed adultery, and then add the part about me getting 25% of your business and 60% of your assets and alimony of $5,000 a month for 5 years, regardless of who initiates the divorce and regardless of the grounds. If that sounds harsh, well, hard government. I have to do something that will scare you enough to stop these fraudulent accusations of cheating. I want you to think long and hard about what it will cost if you persist in not trusting me. And that's not all. If I ever hear, see, or even feel you checking out my cheating, I will destroy you. These signs of cheating stops right here, right now. After a brief pause for her husband to realize what she had said, Hannah continued. Elliot, do you still have balls? Elliot, yeah. Do you want to keep them? Yes. Good answer. What I said are the terms under which we can stay married. Call me when you decide. Hannah left the house and drove away. Elliot was desperate. Why can't I learn? I'm such a fool. I should have trusted her. What will happen to my trust in her? Maybe she's right about me focusing more on the business and not on her. I really don't want a divorce. Maybe I don't deserve her. At least I get to kiss her ass for as long as it takes. I guess I'm lucky she's giving me a second chance. He called his lawyer and told him to drop the divorce and renegotiate the prenup instead. His lawyer protested vigorously, but to no avail. The next day, Elliot got a call from a private investigator. You still want me to look after your wife? No, just send me the last bill. I can't right now. I have to see how long it takes me to remove all the cameras and recorders. However, you could save money by taking them down and returning them to me yourself. That would help me since the catch the adulterer business is really booming right now. You know what they say. Blessed are the crooks, because they keep private investigators in business. He grinned. Of course I can do that. Elliot left work early in case Hannah came home. He took down all the cameras, which wasn't an easy task. Some were in high places, and he strained his back as he searched. When he reached for the recorder in the kitchen cabinet next to the house phone, he accidentally pushed it even deeper. Trying to reach out and reach for the tape recorder strained his back even more. He barely made it to the chiropractor in time. Fortunately, the chiropractor was able to provide assistance. He was given muscle relaxants and told not to strain his back for a month or so. Elliot had a new prenup ready to go. He was about to call Hannah to sign when the private investigator called. Hey, kid. I thought you already handed me the gear. I need it as soon as possible. I hurt my back trying to get the last tape recorder. I forgot all about it on my trip to the chiropractor. I have everything in my basement except one tape recorder. I'll go home right now and bring it all to you this afternoon." After lunch, Elliot headed home. It was obvious that Hannah had made breakfast and hadn't cleaned up. Elliot reached for the last tape recorder. Not wanting to injure his back, Elliot pulled out a grabber. It took a few tries, but Elliot grasped the recorder and pulled it out. He noticed that there was a recording from the last time he checked. On the way to the office, Elliot decided to listen to the tape. It was Hannah and the man he mistook for Craig. It was a face-to-face conversation, not a phone call. They were together in the living room, he assumed. He heard Hannah offer, "Do you want to have a drink first?" "Yeah, we've got plenty of time, haven't we?" "Yes, well, my husband won't be home for a few more hours, but I have to be back at work by 2 o'clock. "Did he say anything about a prenup?" "He said it'll be ready any day now. I can't wait to file for divorce and be a single woman again. A rich single woman." "Hey, what about me? I thought we were getting married." "Don't you think your wife will be upset that we're getting married?" "It's okay. I'm just waiting for the right time. I don't want to be completely impoverished because of her." "But your sweetie's about to get obscenely rich. Don't you think I won't take care of you?" "But you don't have any money yet, do you?" "Great. Another man who doesn't believe in me," Hannah laughed. "I have to admit, you handled that flawlessly. Magazine article on the coffee table. God, I had to put up with that fruit for 3 lunches before that friend of Elliot's finally saw us. I was afraid I'd have to make love to Spencer on the table to get his attention." "Then evening work with Jimmy?" Good thing Elliot showed up on time. Jimmy was upset that he had to stay late at work for something that could obviously be done during the day in 15 minutes. "How did you know about the cameras and recorders?" "I just assumed that his lawyer would recommend it. I looked for a couple days before I found them in the house and one recording device in the car. I just checked. They're all off now. The best part is the motel charge and the fake phone call. I'm glad you gave me the script. I think I would have ruined it if I had to improvise. I had to choose my words carefully so they could be interpreted in 2 ways. It worked perfectly." "Everything worked perfectly. You're so smart, it's scary." "Do we really have to wait for real sex yet? I'm very horny." "You know I wanted to be very careful not to have sex in case Elliot got lucky and discovered us. Still, I think we're safe now. There's no way Elliot will spy on me again. Even if he suspects something, he'll be too scared to do anything about it. That's the beauty of my plan. Since he won't be checking up on me, we can have sex without worrying too much. I'm more than ready for today. This is the first time we've had more than an hour. Just think. Soon we can make love all day and all night as much as we want, and we can do it in Hawaii, Rio, Bermuda, or the penthouse of the Hyatt Hotel. I'll still keep our current life with my wife on a slow burn to be safe. We are too close to explode right now." "Tell me again, how long do you have to wait before you divorce her?" "It'll be a couple years before she turns 30 and inherits her grandfather's share of the business. He'll pay us a fortune, 7 to 8 figures, to get back the 25% of his business that I'll get in the divorce. He would never give up that much control. Don't worry, baby. We can have sex, but only when the time is right and Elliot can't catch us." 2 years? I don't know if I can take it that long. "Honey, we've accomplished what we've accomplished by being smart and careful. Just hang in there a little longer. I promise I will rock your world as many times as you can stand it. Think about what we're doing today as an appetizer. By the way, you need to get more involved in your divorce, or I'll start looking for another guy." "You better be kidding. I'm good. I'm going to go see a lawyer soon and get started. I guess I really don't have to worry about what I'm getting out of my marriage as long as I'm with you. So, time for the bedroom?" "No, I don't want to mess with new sheets. Let's do it on the carpet. It'll look dirtier and more interesting, and easier to clean." "I bet I can get undressed faster than you." There was a rustling around, and soon Elliot heard the familiar sounds of his wife. The worst part was what she said. I can feel you so much better than my weak husband. Let's make love. Elliot was almost catatonic. After regaining consciousness, he went back to his office. He called his detective and said he wanted to buy the remaining tape recorder. The rest of the gear would be returned. He called his attorney, who was happy to go back on the divorce decree and forget about the new prenup. Elliot told Hannah that there was a problem. His lawyer had quit because he thought a new prenup was not in Elliot's best interest. He promised her that he had a new lawyer who only cared about getting paid. The new prenup is due in about a week. In the meantime, Elliot took care of business. 10 days later, Elliot asked Hannah to meet him at his home. Hannah was shocked to see a replay of the last scene at the house. Elliot, a laptop, a tape recorder, and an envelope lay on the kitchen table. Once again, Elliot had a just swallowed the canary expression on his face. This better not be a repeat of what happened last time. I'm going to get the sharpest knife we have. You should have said, "Show me the proof." Hannah had an uneasy feeling. She rummaged through her memory, trying to find some proof. She couldn't think of anything. "Okay, Sherlock, what have you got?" First, Elliot scrolled through the tape of her conversation with Craig. But all the recording devices had been confiscated. She started to panic. "It's illegal to record private conversations. You can't use it in court." Elliot then turned on the video on his computer. It was Craig. Craig confessed to everything, saying it was Hannah's idea. "He's lying. You must have bribed him or threatened to tell his wife. I'll crucify you in court." In court, video and recordings were allowed, as this was not a criminal trial, and the crucified person was Hannah. The prenup was honored, and she left the marriage with what she went in with, just under $3,000. What's more, she owed her lawyer a huge debt, but the lawyer was out of luck. Hannah disappeared with the money and the car. The end! Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.